I am the baddest man you ever meet.
In the world of combat sports, there's an unspoken rule. Never underestimate your opponent. But some fighters, riding on confidence or ego, break that rule before they even throw a punch. They try to win the fight with mind games, trash talk, stare downs, showbooting, and wild antics. Sometimes it works, but when it doesn't, it fails spectacularly. This is the story of fighters who learned the hard way that tough guy acts don't win fights, and intimidation can backfire in the worst way possible. From arrogant entrances to reckless posturing, these fighters thought they could break their opponents before the bell. But they ended up eating their words, and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Jason the Showman Solomon vs. INTIMIDATE, the Crusher Chabi, November 3, 2019. Dancing into defeat. Jason Solomon loved to entertain. His flashy entrances and loud antics made headlines. Against INTIMIDATE Chabi, he was up to his usual tricks. But Chabi wasn't there to play. Within 9 seconds, Chabi landed a devastating right hook that knocked Solomon out cold. No dance moves, no trash talk, just lights out. Mohammed the Hammer Karim vs. Catalin the Beast Morosanu, October 22, 2020. The Hammer gets nailed. Mohammed Karim came into his fight against Catalin Morosanu with swagger. He trash-talked in the pressers, mugged for the cameras, and glared during the stare-down. He played the role of the alpha, but Morosanu wasn't biting. Once the bell rang, Morosanu tore into Karim with vicious combos. By the second round, Karim's tough guy persona was gone, replaced by panic. Morosanu dropped him with a thunderous punch and finished the fight by unanimous decision after a 3-round beatdown. The lesson? Morosanu's fists did the talking, and Karim was silenced. Manuel the Giant Chair vs. Alexander the Tank Povetkin, February 15, 2020. The mockery ends in misery. Manuel Chair mocked Povetkin in the ring, taunting him with his hands behind his back and daring him to hit. Povetkin didn't hesitate. In round 4, he landed a brutal left-right combo that sent Chair to the mat, unconscious. Povetkin's cold focus and power silenced Char's arrogance permanently. Direct Chisora vs. Dillian Whyte, December 10, 2017. War of words, but not of wills. The lead-up to Direct Chisora vs. Dillian Whyte was a circus. Chisora hurled insults, flipped tables, and flexed his fury. He thought he could break Whyte mentally before they ever touched gloves. But Whyte stayed cool. Once the fight started, Whyte's patience and precision shined through. It was a slugfest, but Whyte's composure gave him the edge. In round 11, Whyte landed a perfect shot that sent Chisora crashing to the canvas. Chisora's theatrics couldn't save him when the real fight began. Mike the Titan Walker vs. Ethan Steele Matthews, July 12, 2018. The Titans fall. Mike Walker was known for his intense stare-downs and psychological warfare. On July 12, 2018, he walked into the ring against Ethan Matthews, flexing and taunting, refusing to touch gloves. His reputation alone was supposed to make opponents fold. But Matthews wasn't playing along. Calm and composed, Matthews stayed focused as the fight began. Walker charged in aggressively but found himself outworked and outpaced. Matthews picked him apart with clean strikes, controlling the distance and tempo. By round 2, Walker's energy and bravado had drained. Matthews closed the show with a crushing KO, flattening Walker and proving that composure beats arrogance every time. Nikolay Donov vs. Alexander the Showman Cardo, March 5, 2019. Flashy entrance, brutal exit. On March 5, 2019, Nikolay Donov faced Alexander Cardo, a fighter known as the Showman for his over-the-top entrances and antics. Cardo strutted into the arena, threw arrogant stares, and refused to touch gloves. He tried to get inside Donov's head. It didn't work. Donov stayed silent and focused. The moment the bell rang, he unleashed a savage assault. Cardo was overwhelmed by Donov's pace and precision. After a barrage of strikes and relentless ground and pound, Donov finished Cardo in round 2 with a brutal knockout that silenced the arena. Arrogance got Cardo nowhere. Donov's calm execution did. Joe, the Brazilian Bulldog Duca vs. Bennett, the Beast Tracer, June 18, 2021. Barking loud, biting dust. In June 2021, Bennett Tracer tried to intimidate Joe Duca with wild screams and aggressive posturing at the weigh-in and during the walkout. But once the fight started, Duca didn't blink. Within minutes, Duca took Tracer to the ground and locked in an anaconda choke. Tracer tapped out in round 1. Duca proved that screaming doesn't win fights, skills do. Petru the Pitbull Romankovich vs. Fedor, the Russian Hammer Sendov, January 25, 2021. The Pitbull gets muzzled. Petru Romankovich tried to intimidate Fedor Sendov with a shove during the face-off. He kept the pressure on with aggressive antics, but Sendov stayed cool. Once the fight started, Sendov controlled the pace. By round 3, he dropped Romankovich with a powerful right hook and ended the fight. Romankovich's intimidation failed. Sendov's patience paid off. Ked the Bull Kimsey vs. Dmitry, the Silent Binko, May 7, 2022. The Bull runs into a wall. Ked Kimsey was known for charging at opponents and overwhelming them. Against Dmitry Binko, he did the same, rushing forward, yelling, trying to intimidate. Binko waited. In round 2, Binko scored a takedown and locked in a submission. Kimsey tapped, defeated by patience and precision, not brute force. Zapit, the Showman, Seal vs. Catalin, the Beast Morosanu, April 10, 2020. Dancing leads to disaster. Zapit Seal came into the fight brimming with confidence. From the opening bell, he showboated, hands down, dancing around the ring, and taunting Catalin Morosanu. Seal clearly believed his flashy moves and unorthodox style would throw Morosanu off his game. But Morosanu wasn't buying it. He stayed composed, keeping his focus while patiently waiting for an opening. In the second round, Morosanu capitalized. As Seal showboated with his guard down, Morosanu timed a devastating knee to the chest that stunned him and shifted the momentum completely. Seal, rattled and winded, never fully recovered. In round 3, Morosanu pressed the advantage, closing the distance and unloading a brutal combination that ended with a knockout punch. Seal crumpled to the canvas, his earlier confidence replaced by defeat. His antics had backfired in the worst way, and Morosanu's patience and precision proved once again that skill and focus beat showboating every time. In combat sports, intimidation is often part of the game. But these fights prove one thing: tough guy acts don't win fights. Trash talk, posturing, and showboating might get attention, but when the bell rings, it's skill, patience, and focus that matter. The quiet ones are often the most dangerous. They stay calm under pressure, let their hands do the talking, and leave their opponents humbled. If you enjoyed these stories of arrogance turned to agony, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more from Legends of the Octagon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.